I know April, we have a baby shower. May, we have that cycling fundraiser thing. So, and there was something else too. Another one, there's two in April besides the Teamsters. So it's starting to look a little bit better. Pasta dinner. We've been okayed by public health. I contacted them after our last meeting, and they're fine. They didn't require to come out for an inspection. They said the one that we had last was fine. And basically it was just making them aware that we were holding it just in case there's any problems. So plans are moving along nicely. Judy and I drove around today and hand delivered those small 4-2-page flyers to all the mailboxes, the rural mailboxes. The ones went out into our postal boxes at the post office here today as well. So as it stands right now, we have sold 125 tickets. Now that's including 5, Ray, that you said were for sure. Did you sell the other 5 or no?
I have 2 left.
Okay, so 3. So we're up to 128. So that's awesome. So you said you had 3 left or 2 left?
2 left.
2 left. So, okay.
And I have possibles for them.
Okay. So we're up to 128. When I look back on my notes that I made from the last pasta dinner that we held, at this point in time, I do believe we were at about 114. So we are above that. And in this last week of once we got those little flyers out and stuff, we saw 84 more once we got those little flyers out. So they went out today. So hopefully, because if we do that, then we're going to reach our, can't talk. We're going to reach our goal of 200. That's awesome. And today too, one of the orders I took today was from the West Side, which is perfect because it's so hard, to engage the West Side. So we have gotten a couple orders from them. The first one was from the West Side. That was Joe. She was our very first order. Thank you, Joe. It was awesome. I do hope that we can, are we okay to stay on for a couple of minutes tonight after we're done so we can talk a bit more about the pasta dinner, you guys? I mean, Joe, and
that's no problem. I can leave it open. I'm just going to take the recording off. That's all.
Oh, okay. That would be perfect, Joe. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the 2022 beautification goals. I'd like to make a motion. Every year at this time, we make a motion to allow some money to keep the gardens up, to plant some annuals to fill in and stuff like that. So I'd like to make a motion to allow $350 from our beautification account for that. That's for the containers outside in the spring and fall and that type of thing.
Is that including the dirt, or does that come through?
No, actually, Joe, Judy, I was thinking about that, and I'm not going to get that black topsoil, I don't think, from the city, am I, Curtis? I'm gonna get something that might be full of weeds. Oh, what did I just do here? Get out of there. Oh,
we can still see you.
Well, I can't see anybody else. Get out. I had a little thing right over Curtis's face. I tried to get it out of there. Now I don't know how to get.
At the bottom of your screen, you should have a little square with a blue camera in it. If you click that, it should pop up again.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Oh God.
Curtis only has weedy topsoil.
I can kind of see your screen in your glasses. That's how I know.
Oh.
That's why you work for the city, of course.
So I don't know. Like I think, I mean, it's only like I get 5 bags for $10 or $11 or something at the garden center, and I only use, 10 bags or 12 bags or something. So it's probably worth our while just to continue to do that. But anyway, can I have a motion to allow up to $350 for that stuff for the gardens, please?
Hold on. Hang on, Marty.
What?
I wouldn't. Just give me the receipts.
Oh, really? Oh, even for like our containers and stuff, the stuff like annual. Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
I've got building and grounds maintenance budget. That I'll just put it to that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Awesome. Oh, that's better than I expected. Also, I was wondering, Curtis, is there any chance that we could get a couple of trees planted again? I mean, I mean, we've had 3 taken down. I mean, it's pretty bare out there. It would be nice to have some shade.
We can, same budget, so we'll have to do locates, but what I'll do is I'll get the gardener to hook up with you. Just send me a note so I don't forget. And then,
Okay.
yes, I will have the gardener hook up with you. We'll do locates and then we'll plant some trees.
Awesome. Thank you. I asked Mark when I saw him last about another blind, because we're 1 window short a blind in the men's washroom, well, the old men's washroom. And it's not that we need it for the privacy or anything. It's a cosmetic thing. Every other window has those beautiful blinds on except for that one. So he was going to look at home and see if he had something that he could put together for us, but I haven't heard back from him. That was a while ago. So I will get in touch with him again and see if we can't do something with that.
Yes, I did talk to him about that, Marty. I told him just get it done and send me the bill, but I haven't heard anything else from him either. So,
Oh, okay. Thank you.
so yeah, you chase him down and then tell him, send me the bill.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Now there's a couple of things that's been on the back burner since before COVID that I'd really like to start rolling again. Number 1 is the sign for the building. We wanted to replace the one that's attached to the building. And I did go out and get a quote from Signature Signs. Can't remember exactly what it was now. I'd have to look back on my notes, but I'm sure it would be more now than it was then. So I would go out and get a couple more quotes again. And I think at that time too, Curtis, you did get a quote from somebody else too, and it was really high.
So in my wisdom, I know more than I did before. So I'll sort of outline a different step to take.
Okay.
Because your building is a heritage building, I'm saying, yes, we can look at the sign. That'll come from your beautification budget at the time.
Yes. Yes.
But we'll have to get approval from the Heritage Committee or LACAC to put the sign up in the designs. Because, sorry, go ahead.
No. Okay. Is it actually on the heritage part of the building, or is it on the kitchen part where it's just the cemented brick? That's not heritage, that part. Just the original building is heritage.
We're better off getting approval from them because I think it's the overall appearance of the entire facility, which is what they're trying to maintain. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think that's just a necessary step that just just get their blessing, and I think we're good.
Okay, well, I mean that brick, that's the kitchen. What's it called? The block brick, whatever it is. I mean. Yeah, I mean, that certainly isn't heritage. I mean,
Marty,
I would love to cover that.
Trust me on it. Craig Findlay will just reach out to him once you have a design, and assuming he's good with it, I'm totally fine with it either way, but it just saves a headache down the road if they drive by and go, wait a minute.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So just ask the question. You may very well be correct. I just want to make sure going through them that because it is a heritage facility, they're okay with the appearance.
Okay, perfect. And I want to keep with the appearance too, as much as possible. So, but I'd like to get that ball rolling again, because that's been on the back burner for quite some time.
It'd be nice if we could match the block to the same color as the brick too.
Yeah, just the cinder block to match the color, because it sticks out like a sore thumb, I know. Well, that could be on a list at some point, yes.
So I would get a rendering done, Marty, or a design done to start, get approvals, and then take it to the next step. So it's going to cost you a little bit of money to get that done, but it's worth it. Circulate it, get everybody's approval. The way we go.
Okay, perfect.
Curtis, before we get that, are there any parameters that the sign has to meet? Rather than going back and forth 3 times, or?
I can run it by the building department to make sure, once we have it.
Might just, if we know a little bit about what they are looking for before we get a design, then we can ask the designer. to
Include that in the minutes then, Bill, and then I'll shoot it to the building department. That you may be very well correct that there might be some sort of parameters that
Okay.
we have to adhere to.
Thanks, Bill. Perfect. The other thing that we discussed and put on the back burner for quite some time ago was the plaque for the bell. Now, I remember talking to Tom Russell a while back, and the bell was never designated. The building was, but the bell was never designated. So the cost of a plaque would not be covered by what's it called? Lack. Every time I think of that duck that Atlac or whatever it was. I can't remember it. So the plaque for the bell would not be covered. Hello. So that would be coming out of our beautification fund as well, which is no problem. I mean, that's what that money's for, to do those kinds of things, right? So, but I certainly would need to see how much that's going to cost. And that depends on whether we want it raised or, you know, just in the ground, that type of thing. So that's something I would like to do. And that window, that wheel round window that goes above the entrance outside that we found up in the attic, it is repaired. Debbie Barnes had taken it down to a place down here on Allenport Road, and they milled it for us and repaired it. It needs to be painted and the glass needs to be put in there. And somebody spoke to a glass company in Welland about that at the time. I can't remember if it was Debbie or, and they were going to give us a really good deal. They had some amber glass or something that they said that they would give us at a really good deal, but probably
I think
gone
we should
now.
rate and measure it and tell us how much she would charge us.
Yes,
Just
yes, I think so too. Because Ray, you
Fit
do
in
some
community.
beautiful work. Yeah, we'll look into that, Ray. Okay, would you be willing to do something like that if we?
Sure. Right now, glass is a little bit hard to source because most of the glass I get is over the river. But yeah, once we're open and I
Yes.
can travel across there, I'll go over and see what I can do.
Okay, perfect. I think it's a perfect idea, Judy. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I've seen her work and I think it would
Yes.
be.
Oh, it would be gorgeous. It's too bad that it's too bad that because at one point in time, that window used to open up into the hall until they put that attic there above the entranceway. The original building before the washrooms were there was one room, and that window actually was open into the hall. So that would shine in there. It's so that's another project I would really love to bring back to the foreground and work on. There's lots of other things too, like we need to purchase some shelving and stuff for that storage room. That's got to be, we got to, right now we have all the Christmas stuff in there. Yeah, we've got it all in there, but it can't stay all there because, or we have to do something with it because it's hard to move in there. And the attic is very difficult to get into, but especially.
So, Marty, just on these items, I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but you guys have $1,000 in your beautification fund.
Yep.
The shelving would be considered a capital purchase, which you don't have permission to purchase. You can use your beautification fund money out of that. Same with your wheel, the glass, no issues with it. But because that would be classified as a capital purchase on my side, I can't help you with that.
That's okay.
So that would have to come from your beautification fund. So you got lots of stuff on your list there.
Yes, I know, I know. Well, I'm hoping after this pasta dinner, we're padding that beautification
Okay.
fund.
Yep.
Because like I
Baby steps, but we'll do it.
yes, like and these are things all have to be done right this minute, but they are things that we want to get them done. right?
Yes,
That's
if
the
the
point.
spray comes up with a good price on the glass, and we'll go with the window, and if not, we'll do something else, like.
Let me make a recommendation then. I think you guys need to prioritize what you want to use your beautification fund for. The rest of it, I can submit as a capital request for 2023. Doesn't mean I'm going to get it, but it's a nice way. Council tends to be very open to your ideas. We'll say that.
Yes.
And I think these small ticket shelving, stuff like that is an easy win for them to say, yes, we can help you. And it's a way to not have it funded from your beautification if you can wait a little bit.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
just
Oh,
an idea
absolutely.
that have a running list, give me a list before budget time. So come like August, I'll include it with the capital submissions for the next year. Okay.
Okay, well, this will probably fall in there too, because we really need new taps in the kitchen.
They can't wait. That's, yeah.
That's more of a maintenance thing. I'm okay with that. That's a replacement. You're gotta have to look at it as in terms of replacement item. That's something that's failed versus something new. Your shelving that you don't have would be a new capital purchase. A
Okay,
replacement tap, again, if Bill includes that in the minutes, I'll loop back through the minutes when they come out. And there's certain stuff that I can do under repairs. If they're leaking, yeah, that's something I can help you with.
oh, perfect, because
Okay.
one leaks and the other one sprays. Like the middle one sprays, you turn it on and you gotta go, because you get sprayed. So, and they rattle
Pot
and
washer comes
shake.
home clean.
What's that?
The pot washer comes home clean.
Yes, we do. We come home clean, right, showered. So, because I'm thinking, I mean, even if we eventually get our new kitchen down the road, these same taps can be used in our new kitchen, right? So it's not like it's,
They have no neck on them. You can't fill a pot. You can't do
No.
anything. They're just,
yeah,
you just put your life in your hands using them. Yeah.
well, you don't take your life in your hands, but
I stand back.
oh yeah, I stand back too. And the
It's
one
hot
closest to the
water.
microwave does drip. What's that, Bill? I'm sorry.
I said, it depends how hot the water is.
Yeah. And it can get
Could be
pretty
a
hot
health and
there, too.
safety issue, right?
Yeah. Oh, and thank you, Curtis, for, there was a problem with the furnace, eh? Saw the guys there working on
Yeah,
it.
the motherboard was shot, so they had to replace it.
Oh, geez.
But we saved the water.
Yeah,
The pipes didn't freeze.
yeah,
Yes, you did.
yeah. We walked in there, I thought, "Ooh, it's cold in here, holy smokes." But now, the picnic tables, Curtis, at one point I remember something being said about they have to be like the new resin ones or something. Is it resin? Or they can't be wood and they have to be
No.
accessible.
That's our new design, but I'm not going to pull anything away that we have. But if we want to buy new ones, yeah, council approved a new
Design.
accessible.
Okay, so the ones that we have now, can we paint them? They're wood, the ones we have now.
Yes.
Okay,
I
would
stain them rather than paint.
Bill says he's gonna stain them. I heard that. Put that in the minutes, Bill.
Paint and outside is always a bad combination. If you can find a tinted stain,
yeah,
you'll get better results.
yeah. As long as we can do it, as long as we take the brush or the roller to them, that's my main concern, but perfect. What else have I got? Oh, and yes, and I know they're expensive too, but at some point in time, when we get enough money, sure would like to purchase some new chairs because those ones are pretty beat up.
Again, Marty, that's something I can probably help you with. Put it on your list, and I can add it to the capital budget for 2023 as a worst case. That's sort of more of a building thing. I don't know if that's a beautification thing. It's probably more of a building functionality thing, but it is a capital purchase. So
Perfect. Great.
I might as well do-
And then of course, eventually we want to do something with those walls in that back room. The paneling has got like holes in it from people pushing the tables up against them or the chairs or, so I don't know what, like, I don't know what's behind that paneling. Is it just the brick wall? What's behind there?
I'm a little nervous to find out, but
Like, I don't know, do we just go over top of the paneling that's there or do we rip the paneling down? I don't know. You know? But
kind of like the suggestion of going over top, because once you
Yes.
open it up, you can expose yourself to items that you don't necessarily want to find.
yes, I know. But eventually, yeah, really, like, because that room gets used, we use it. I mean, that's what was our fight when we were putting the washing machine. We use that room. So I'd like it needs a little sprucing up along the
Add it to
way.
the capital list. Yep.
Yep. Okay, perfect. I'm just wondering, you're probably going to hate me for this one, Curtis. Can we have paper towel holders in the bathrooms? We didn't want soap dispensers. That's what we asked. We said no soap dispensers, please. But we got blowers, but not paper towel dispensers. And the hand blowers there, they don't dry your hands. You have to wipe your hands on your pants to get your hands dry.
Short answer is yes, Marty. Again, I'll have to pick your Bill's notes, but yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Because there's little narrow shelves beside the sinks, little metal narrow, and they're not even wide enough to set like loose paper towels on there. So if we could have paper towel dispensers, that would be awesome. Also was wondering, in what was the ladies' old washroom, in the corner, okay, when you like in the opposite corner of beside the toilet, can we put a mirror up there and a small table? Because we always had a basket out with stuff women might need. Yeah, toiletries and stuff. We always had a basket on the counter in there for the ladies. Well, there's no counter in there now, of course, because the wheelchairs have to get underneath the sink. So we put a small table over in that corner. It would not impede the toilet area, just so we could set that up.
Sure. Where are you going to buy it from?
Amazon, Cane Fair.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's not quite what I meant, but yes. So again, capital purchase, small and
Oh.
attractive item. So
Oh. Okay, but do I have to go through your like where you purchased from, or can I just submit the receipt?
you can, beautification fund is essentially yours. So if you have something where you want to spend it from the beautification fund, you're welcome to. But for me, that's a capital purchase, so I got to follow the budget process.
Right. So in saying that, though, so once I get the okay to do it, do I just buy it myself, or do I have to go through some company that you have that?
Nope. Once you say you want to buy it, then Amazon is fine as long as you're funding it from your beautification fund.
Okay.
But if it goes through the capital budget, is there a catalog of things that are available to us through you?
Yeah, there's a purchasing policy, which we're supposed to get under a certain amount. We're supposed to get at least 2 quotes.
Right.
But I don't think you're talking about anything
No.
significant.
No.
So it's an Amazon type
Okay.
purchase.
So
but-
so you're saying it's a capital thing, but it comes from our beautification account. I'm a little confused.
So it's if you want me to pay for it,
Yeah.
it'll have to wait till I have capital funding available for that,
Right.
which I don't.
Right.
So if you want it sooner than later, your beautification fund, you can pay for that.
Okay.
yourself.
So anything that you're talking capital wouldn't be until 23.
Yeah, if you want me to pay, it's basically 2023. If you
Right.
want it now, you
Right.
guys have your little pot of money that you can
Okay.
do a choice.
Perfect. Okay.
And if
Perfect.
we find a little table that I have in my house, can we use that right now?
By all means.
Yeah. Why not? We already have 2 of your little tables there that we're using, Judy. No. Yeah. Okay. Do the instructions for that adult change table have to be like posted on the wall in that washroom, Curtis? Because right now they're just laying on the table. Like, do they have to be posted so people know how to use that, or?
Ideally, probably yes. I don't think it's a requirement by law that they have to, but it would be nice, I would think. But
Okay, so even if we did it like how we did the key on the front with the chain,
Behind the door.
sure,
well,
yeah.
usually it's right beside the table, but
If you don't want it, a chain or anything to hang and then get caught in the thing going up and down.
No.
yeah, we'll take a look at it and see, but as long as we know that's, Oh, Curtis, did you get that key I dropped off? I hope I dropped that key off to Jerry.
Yeah,
Oh, well, that was a while ago, like over
I
a
have
week
an
ago.
envelope on my desk. Was it an envelope?
Oh, could be, yeah.
Okay, I have it then. I can give it to you tomorrow.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Thanks, Steph. I didn't even realize you were here until just now when you popped up there. So
$1
great.
million in that envelope.
Yeah. And there was that bill for the yellow pages too, and they keep calling my phone. It's always an answering machine, but so pay the damn bill, will you?
okay, so you guys don't use Bell anymore because you're on a VIP phone, so they can keep calling all they want, but tell them to send the bill to me, and if it's legit, I'll pay. But
Okay.
they might just be trying to reestablish a service that
That,
we're not using.
okay. Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2022 rental goals. Well, I'd like to say I'd love to be where we were pre-COVID, but I think it's going to take a little while to build back up there. There's still a lot of people that are leery about gathering and that type of thing. So, but I do want to set some goals. Right now, the way things are, if we can have one renter per weekend, just to start out and see, that'll give us 4 to 5 renters a month. Hopefully we can start building up again, because we were up to like, 10, 12 a month. And then the wheels fell off. So, but things are starting to lift a little bit now and stuff, and hopefully, but people still have to feel comfortable.
I think once people see it too again, opened and being used,
Yes.
they'll start coming
Yeah.
around.
And I just recently realized too that I guess when we set the prices for the rent back a while ago, it was like $25 per hour all in, okay, for insurance and stuff. I didn't realize that. I've been telling people that it's $25 per hour plus the HST plus insurance fees, whatever they would amount to for the event that they're doing. I have talked to Stephanie about this, and we have worked it out. She's fixing it up for us. That is from this point on, anybody that has rented up to this point, they're getting a deal because the HST is included in that $25, but going forward, it's $25 per hour plus the HST. There is a daily flat rate of $150 plus HST and their insurance on top of that.
So
Sorry,
moving,
what was the daily rate?
150.
So
150.
it wouldn't actually be moving forward like past this date. So if we all agree here to the fees, what we can do is we can bring it a report to council next month. And then once that
Oh.
report gets put through and passed, then from there it will be. So for like another month or so, it'll be the old rates. And then once we get that report passed in council, then we can do the new rates. And I just actually made like a little chart. So if you guys want to actually see what the rates look like broken down, because it does include that building fee as well, that we discussed, Marty, for you guys to have in your reserve fund.
Yes.
I'll just share my screen really quick.
Okay, perfect. Because that was the other thing I was going to say. We did talk about that, putting a couple of bucks, Curtis mentioned, brought it up a while ago, putting a couple of dollars per rent away into a reserve fund for the community.
Okay, I'm not allowed to share my screen, but I can just kind of give you a breakdown. So the new proposal, or not new proposal, but revised rates, putting the taxes on top of the fee, we'll see the hourly building fee, $2 per hour, plus $23 an hour for the rental fee. So that'll be $25 total. So essentially $2 of the $25 for every hour will go towards a reserve.
Perfect.
And then the rest goes towards the payment of the rental. So then that reserve money can be put aside for repairs and things down the road.
Curtis, just, yeah.
Yeah.
You should be able to share your screen now if you wanted.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
and that stuff will help fund the kitchen. I get $2 an hour, doesn't sound like a lot, but every little bit helps. It means
Yes.
we're contributing to a roof repairs, or sorry, roof replacement, not typically repairs, but
I took a
All over
picture
the
of it,
place.
Steph, thank you.
Okay, yeah, so the current one would be, so right now our current is $25 an hour, up to 150. Once you get 6 hours or more, it's 100, it caps out at 150. So with the taxes, that'll be $28.25 per hour, which will cap out at $169.50. And so $2 per hour goes towards the building reserve fee. So that would be something we can use down the road if there's repairs or anything like that. It gets put aside in a fund for the building. So it's not like the beautification where it's for, projects and stuff. It would be for any repairs. And then there's also the daily rate of 138 and daily rate of 12 for the reserve fee. So all in all, it'd be $169.50 and $28.25 per hour.
Stephanie, can I get a copy of that to attach to the minutes?
Sure, I can send it to Joanne.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think we keep it into the minutes, and we just, when it goes to council formally, then it'll be coming to effect, but yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect.
I'm gonna
Thanks.
stop sharing now.
Okay, thanks, Steph.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, so do we need to make a motion to make these changes now?
I think you should probably, Joanne, you can probably speak to this a little bit better, but I think we want to support this, right? But obviously we don't have the authority to change rates without council, but I think we support and endorse the increase, I think is what the motion should be, no?
Yep, that's right. You got it. And then it would go to council on March 1st or March 15th because the minutes need to be approved. Actually, no, I can do it for March 1st. They can be sent first.
Well, actually, Joe, what day am I going? Is March what? Because same night might be a good idea.
Just give me a second. I'll take a look.
I know it's March, but I don't know. What
It's March 8th or the 23rd of 2 meetings, so that's fine. Again, council will, I'm going to be taking a report on the March 23rd to address a bunch of the rates, so I'll just include this in that report for their formal consideration. But yes, if you guys are endorsing them, it always helps, right? So
The committee. Oh, yeah. Okay. You got it.
Okay, to help with the,
We need a motion for that. Somebody move it. That we
Sure.
support and endorse.
do we need a motion for that?
The motion, right? We need somebody to move it and second.
Ray
it,
raised your hand.
right?
Yeah. Still do your motion. And then once you go present in March, then you'll be able to bring it forward at that time as well.
Okay. And did we have a seconder on that?
Judy,
Okay,
or one of them.
one of them. Okay.
Just not our names. They'll just use us.
Now, in order to try and promote the hall, Nicole has been working on updating our flyer. The one that we always have just inside the door there. Because there was a lot of stuff that was pretty outdated on there. So she has updated it, and it does read the $25 an hour plus, it says no taxes not included type thing, because that's what I thought that it was anyway. So you're pretty much ready to go with that, right, Nick? You're pretty much ready to print that off?
Yeah, we just had to get it.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, do you guys need to see that first, or?
We didn't want to print it until.
Does it say anything about terms and conditions or any rules about the facility?
Is
Can
the
you
same-
hold it up, Nick? Have you got it there or no?
Oh, no, we're on my computers. No,
Oh.
I don't have it.
If it's just a basic overview of like what the facility has and
Yes,
what
it's
it's
the
offering,
amenity.
that's fine. But if there's anything about terms and conditions, that would
No.
be the only thing that we would
No.
have to see.
No,
And they're gonna be signing off on terms and conditions when they do the rental contract anyways, so I don't think it's that big a deal.
Okay, the only terms and conditions is the rate, the hourly rate.
And I have to do this so she can change it.
No, we updated to what the rate should say and with the taxes and stuff.
Yeah,
Typically.
keep it where you're gonna go, because we're talking like 4 weeks from now. Yeah, I can't see council saying no, especially if you guys are endorsing it. So I would leave the rates are what they are, but just for the next 4 weeks, charge what we're supposed to, charge what the rates are now, and then it'll be bumped to that. That's what I-
truthfully, I mean, on there, we've got $25 per hour, taxes not included, but then they go through Steph anyway, through community services to book it, and they're gonna get invoiced, and they're gonna see the cost. So does it, you know, whether the HST is included until such time as it's passed by council or not, they're still only gonna get charged today's rate.
Yeah, I think we just stick handle it for the next 4 weeks, Marty, and just do that, and then we'll formalize it.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
you don't want to reprint these things later on.
So that's why we kind of waited to see, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Now, the other thing is, we really have to, as much as I love Port Robinson Proud for everything that they have done for us in the past and continue to do, we need to separate from everybody thinks that's who we are. They're not seeing us as Port Robinson Community Center. And I knew this was happening before, but with the delivering of these tickets for the pasta dinner, I'm asking everybody, how did you find out about this? Because I wanted some feedback to see what's working for us. And social media on Facebook page. I said, oh, the community centers page, and this look of confusion on their face, and it's like, no, Port Robinson Proud. So then it's like, okay, well, we're two separate things, even though we work hand in hand on many things. We're two separate things. So we have to get our Facebook page out there with our with Facebook Port Robinson Community Center out there as much as we can, so that people are coming to our page, not seeing the odd thing that Port Robinson Proud shares for us. I want them on our page because Nick, you're doing such a great job on that page. I don't know, Curtis or Joe, if you've been on that page for a while, but I mean, Nick has posted videos of the building and just surrounding areas, and every day she's updating. And
so Marty, I think I can help you guys. So I agree with everything you said, because I've seen Port Robinson Proud's page, and you're right. You guys are just posting each other's messaging, and if it's on one, it's on the other. So I get it. So council just approved hiring a communications specialist. I can't remember the exact terminology of it, but they can help you guys with that recognition or the profile,
identity.
I think. Identity. So I believe they're coming on again, Joanne. I think it's May. I think it's when we have permission to hire them. So once they come on, I think they can really help you set you guys down the right path and get you guys your own identity. And I think that's important. I do. So I think that'll help you, and we can set you up with that person once you're on board.
I mean, since Nick took over that page, I think how many likes did that page have? 50?
Yeah, like 70 maybe.
70 likes, and we're well over 500 and something now.
Almost at 6, I think now.
Yes, almost 6.
I think
So
the problem was everyone fell out of love with the community center when passing happened, and everyone just assumed, Port Robinson.
And then Port Robinson Proud stepped up at the forefront, and that's what everybody thinks we are. So
change is kind of happening backwards again, I find, but
right now we have to use their page to promote our stuff, though, because people, until we get them turned over to our page again.
Yeah.
How many likes did you say you guys had?
Almost 600.
Okay, yeah, it's 569. I was like, what? I didn't hear the 600 part. I was gonna say there's more than 70.
No, it started out at 70 before Nick took the page over. So like I said, and it's not just our events and stuff that she posts up there. Sometimes it's just the community, a boat in the canal, or just a beautiful sunset, or a crispy walk or something. So what's that?
Rain, the cherries covered or the berries covered in ice. And
a couple of short videos that she's posted up there, beautiful. One of the building when we first reopened with all the renovations, and then the one for the pasta dinner. You're doing an awesome job, Nick. Thank you. So yes, Curtis, I'd love to be connected with your person there, and because I think it's important. We need to see, so 2022 events. Apparently at our last meeting, okay, we put out a motion to spend $600 on our Easter event. And we kind of messed up there because we want to do the combined event like we did at Christmas. We want to do an actual virtual hunt, some kind of either scavenger hunt or egg hunt throughout the community like we've done for the past 2 years, and a indoor event for the kids where we'll do the draw for the egg hunt at that time, like we did at Christmas time with the taking Elfie and the Christmas event. So what we should have done was say 200 for the hunt and 600 for the breakfast, or I don't want to call it a breakfast, Easter event, because I'm not sure what we're doing yet. So
Indoor Easter event.
All you need to do is pass a motion for the 200 because you already did the 600.
okay, so could I have a motion, please, for to spend $200, up to $200 for the virtual hunt for Easter?
Yes.
Thank you. And a seconder?
Ray's got her hand up.
Okay, I can see Ray.
I'll say to him, Bill's not looking.
You'd be
Okay.
surprised what I can see. A corner of my eye.
Okay, now I also want to clear up something too. Now, I look back in our minutes and no, I can't, there's nothing in our minutes stating this, but I do remember us discussing Port Robinson Proud events, their ladies' tea and the cookie exchange, and how I wasn't comfortable charging them a rent when sometimes they put out a donation jar and that goes into our beautification account. And at that time, we discussed using a portion of our community grants fund, program funds, to cover the rent for their 2 events. And it was suggested that we could do that. And now I'm told that no, we can't. So just want to get that straightened out before we go any further with, because I do remember this conversation, and unfortunately it didn't get put into the minutes because I could even track back when it was, and it was in October and November. So, and those minutes, there's nothing, but I do remember discussing this.
Oh, sorry, where do you want to fund the rent from?
From the community grants program, as if we partnered with them for the event. That's what this discussion that we had before is, if we partnered with them, because we never did before. We always helped them. We helped them set up. We helped them, make sandwiches. We, that type of thing. But it was not our event. It was Port Robinson Proud event.
Port Robinson doesn't have any community grant money from the city.
Not Port Robinson Proud, no.
No, so we still need to get, so I think it was supposed to be in this meeting, you're supposed to present your budget for your request for community grants this year.
Yes.
So that money technically isn't approved yet because we still need the request in order to bring it to staff to consider for council approval.
Correct. So I guess, sorry.
I see. So I see what you're asking. So if that were to happen, I think in a previous email we discussed, I can't remember either.
Yeah, we did discuss
it was something I remember, but it would have to be under your event portfolio. So they can volunteer at your events. They can assist you with your events. They can be part of your events, but if it's in the community grant portfolio, it would have to be a Port Robinson Community Center event. But they can be they can act as volunteers at that event. That's fine. But it couldn't, I don't think it could be their event unless I'm wrong, Curtis.
Because I thought if we co-partnered with them, because I remember we discussed this, and it was like, if we partner up with them, because right after that meeting, I saw Debbie Barnes and we talked about it, and I said, would you mind if we co-partnered with you? And then that way we could cover the rent.
Everybody's frozen.
For your, can you hear me? Oh, I see you, Bill.
Everything froze for a minute. Everybody did.
Oh, I think it's just you. Because we're all good.
So Port Robinson
I
Proud.
need my computer. Can I get that through Capital? Jeez. Ah,
So I don't know, is it like, I mean, would only be that their events are only a couple hours, so we're only talking like, and insurance on top of that, so what? A couple hours in insurance, even if it was $100 per event, it's only $200 that we would be asking for from the grants program to.
Are they a not-for-profit? Like, do they have a not-for-profit registered
No.
number?
No.
So they
No,
wouldn't
so-
fall, unfortunately, in the definition of the community grants.
Steph, they wouldn't even have insurance for their group. They're simply a
It's
good
3 ladies.
community. Yeah, it's 3 ladies that do it out of the goodness of their heart. They wouldn't have to have USIB or anything like that. So,
But even if
um,
our name was half on it though. So, but can we put our name on it?
I don't want to take over, that's their event, Judy. I don't want to take over their events.
so
That's their.
Marty, you have a choice. Either you take over their event or they pay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay,
they can volunteer, it's fine, but it would
Okay.
have to be your event.
okay, no problem. Or we were told that we can use our funds in that beautification account for any event that we overspent on. So would I be allowed to request from our beautification account enough to cover the cost of their rent?
If we okay it, why not?
Yeah, if we motion it and say we would take it out of our beautification account, could we do that? Because we were given, because I can't remember who it was that said to us, because I asked that question right out one time, if we went over what we had asked for from the community grants program for an event, could we dip into the beautification account to cover the excess cost? And I was told we could.
I believe
So-
that's, Joanne, do you recall that conversation? I believe that's correct.
Yep, that's right, but it wouldn't be like to fund the Port Robinson Proud portion. It would be like to fund something that it's eligible for.
Yeah, so it would be for your events that it could fund. So if you had your Easter event, if you get approved for the
Right.
community grant program for your Easter event and spent 700 instead of 600, you could pull that on 100 over
Right.
from the beautification.
Right. That was my understanding. So I thought if we were co-partnering with them, that if necessary, if it wouldn't be covered under the grants thing, could we pull it from the beautification account to cover it? But you're saying no.
But if we're partnering, can we pay half of it?
No, I would still say pay. I wouldn't ask to pay half. I mean, already they're not, it's only $50, or $100, whatever.
This is just optics, Marty. At the end of the day, you guys do partner together on it.
Mhm.
Really do. So I get there might be sensitivities around who owns the event, but realistically, if you call it your event, if they're volunteering.
Well,
It's your
I'll
event.
I'll run it by them and see how they feel about it. I don't want to just
Yeah.
sort of, stomp in there and say, well, it's gotta be our event or I'm not playing.
But,
No,
but
It's really about the liability for you guys. So any event that you guys are putting your name on, this, because you're essentially a body of the city, you're acting on behalf of the city. And so our liability is covering you, the Board of Management, and an extension of that Board of Management, any of your volunteers, which would be Port Robinson Proud. So that's how that would work. If they were to run their own event without you guys, they would need their own insurance and that's
Well,
where the rate would
absolutely,
come in.
absolutely, and I agree with that 100%, but it's just like I said, they put out a donation jar and we get it.
Yeah.
And we put it in our beautification account.
Well,
It's
would
just-
it, but if they put out a tip jar, donation jar, and just draw their
cost.
insurance out of it, and, they can certainly still contribute the rest to us if they
Yeah,
like.
like,
It would just be
yeah,
that
we can
little bit
do
less
that.
because, and then everything's square on the books. I think it makes sense to do it that way.
That works too, can we do that?
Well, that
Well,
would be
why not,
outside
eh?
of, that would
That's
be
just
outside
them.
of-
We donate that money to
Yeah.
us and instead we'll say, take out what you paid from that tip jar.
it has
And
nothing to
then
do with us, other
whatever
than
else
if any of us
you want left,
volunteer.
if you wanna-
Yeah, say she was gonna be into $200, Marty, you say, hey, take your rent money out of that first, and then I'll
Before you-
take the rest, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just make sure it's clear to those people who are donating where the money is going. I mean, you don't want them to think that it's going to the center, but then you're paying Port Robinson Proud. That's all.
But we're not paying for Rose Proud, we're paying for the
No, but I'm
rent.
just saying, like, make sure that the people that are donating know
make-
where this money is going. Make sure they know that money is gonna be taken out to be paying something else instead of what they think they're donating for.
Yeah, a lot of people pay just because they think, oh, this shouldn't be a free event. Like they want
Yes.
to contribute back to what we put into the event. So I
Usually,
think
yeah, because the people even at our Christmas our Christmas breakfast, the number of people that tried to pay us, and I'm going, no, that's okay. This is a free event.
Yeah, it's never that simple. I believe we have a donation policy too that you'd have to get council approval to even do that.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, but see,
we're
that-
not- see,
we
if-
weren't taking the donations, they were at the ladies' tea and stuff. And like I
Right.
said, they offered it at the breakfast, but I said, no, this is a free event. So
Oh, I
Right.
see. It's not your donation jar, it's their donation
it's
jar.
their
Okay.
donation jar.
Okay, I understand. And then they would be taking money out of their donation jar for themselves and then giving you the rest.
Yes,
Yep,
yes,
and that's entirely up to them.
yes. Because we don't put the jar out there
We
because
do
we
that.
can't do that, right? So they always put a jar out there with their card in there and stuff and for the community center. So it's their jar. So that works, right?
Can we start with the option where it's your event and they're volunteering and then go from there?
Yes, that will be my first route. I will ask, like I said, but I don't want to step on anybody's toes. It's their event.
Understood.
Okay. So we are planning a couple of different things this year. After the pasta dinner is done and said and done, we are looking at holding a strawberry social in June, on June the 26th. Previous board years ago used to hold these and kind of got, I don't ever recall one being here, but I wasn't very involved in the community when I was still working. So, but it sounds like a really fun event to do. This again would be a fundraiser. What? Oh, what? Did you freeze? She looks like she's frozen. We haven't really gotten right down to the nitty gritty of all of it, but it'd be nice to have something in June. We usually hold something in a second fundraiser in September, either like we had, the last one we had was, the Elvis and all that kind of stuff. And the one before that was the Night with Spirit. But we're planning something else for fall. So we're planning a strawberry social fundraiser for June the 26th. And we are also planning a fall fun type thing, fun fair type thing, which will be a free event. And we'll have fall activities. We'll have pumpkins that the kids can paint, some mazes, some face painting, I mean, clown or whatever. We haven't really, we've sort of just tossed a few ideas around.
So Marty, no issues with that at all. I think it's a great idea. You just, again, you're running like the format of the pasta dinner where you're funding it through your
Yes.
beautification fund, you're
Yes.
backstopping it. Okay, that's fine. And
Yes.
no issues at all. That's
Right, perfect. So the ones that we are looking at from community grants program would be the Christmas event again next year. And we would like to take an Alfie again with a budget of $150 for prizes. And then a Santa event at a cost of $850, totaling $1,000 for Christmas. We've asked for $800 total for Easter. And then the fall event. I'm sorry, Curtis. Yeah, no, the fall event is not a fundraiser. The Strawberry Festival, that's a fundraiser. The fall event is a free event. Okay, and that's where we'll have the clowns and the face painting for the kids. And we've set a date for September 18th, I think, for that. And the thing I like about the Strawberry Social and that event is that the ferry is still open and we can heavily invite the west side of Port Robinson. A lot of things they get left out of, even though at Easter and stuff and Christmas, I do put the Elfie hats over there and the eggs over there. We don't get a whole lot of participation. We do get some, but not a whole lot. So with these two events being one in June and one in September, I'm hoping that it opens up a whole other thing for across the canal there.
It'll definitely make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, to drive around the whole way around, Joe, it's
I know, when I can literally walk there.
Yeah. So like I said, so basically we're asking for $800 for Easter, $1,000 for our fall event, and $1,000 for our Christmas event from the community grants program. So a total of $2,800. I was leaving $200 there for the rent for Port Robinson Proud. But if we can't do that, then I'm going to tack another $100 on to Christmas and fall. So $1,100 for each of those, so that we're a nice round figure of $3,000 that we're asking for events. Is that so? Do we have to make a motion now to ask community grants program for that, or how do we do that?
So you can put a motion to that, so that's your request. And then once this meeting's done, you can send the breakdown of your budget to myself, and then it'll go through for staff consideration, and then that'll go through council approval probably end of March.
Okay, so Steph, you're saying we actually have to have exactly like how much we're going to spend for this, that, and the other thing in that budget that I send to you?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be super detailed. Like I don't need like, you know, you're going to spend this much on paper cups and this much on tissue paper, like anything like that. But if you spend like, you know, we're going to spend out of that $1,000 that you're asking for your Christmas event, we're going to spend, you know, $250 on food, $100 on decorations, $200 on, you know, hiring a Santa. Like it doesn't have to be super, but just to justify the breakdown of your costs.
Okay.
So that we can, it'll just enhance your chance of getting the funding if you can actually justify the costs.
Okay, a little difficult when we don't know exactly what we're doing. But
That's okay. Just well, I mean, I know COVID, everything makes it difficult, but just plan on what you want to do.
yeah, that's what Curtis said
plan
last
what you
week.
wanna
Tell
do.
me what we want to do, ask for that, and go from there. Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, we got our work out right after we finish with the pasta dinner. We have to really sit down and hammer things out a little bit, what we want to do. So can I have a motion, please, to spend, I guess it would be, I don't have, do I do Easter now too, Steph? Like the 800 for Easter?
Yeah, put it all in there. It might not be approved by Easter, but that's when I think we mentioned last time, you just take it out of the beautification, and then it'll get reimbursed to beautification.
Whatever, or out of pocket like we do everything else now. So
Just be aware though, if you take it from beautification and it does not get approved, it's coming out of beautification.
right. So I'd rather not do that. I'd rather continue to do what we're doing out of pocket.
Out of pocket means beautification.
Well, no, out of pocket
So-
means out of pocket.
So you're not going to look for reimbursement?
Yeah, but I mean,
Funded from where though?
well, the same as we do with everything right now. Like last Christmas was funded out of my pocket. Okay,
But
It
you got
wasn't out of-
reimbursed.
not yet. I've had, and those receipts were handed in on the 13th of January.
Sorry, so yes, but they will be. That was my bad. They're stuck under my desk, so I found them.
Oh, okay.
But you're gonna get funded, but that was approved to be funded from. So what I'm saying to you is that if you submit a budget for Easter and the community grants budget goes to council and they say no, which
And it's coming out of our beautification account.
it's gotta be funded from somewhere, yes.
Okay, well, we've always done that prior. I mean, any event that we had before the other funds were available to us, we always paid for out of our beautification account.
I'm
So
just
if that's what
letting you
happened,
know, I don't want you to go spend $800 and then you're like, what do you mean we said no? Well, that's council's prerogative and
yes, yes. And well, I'm comfortable with that because like I said, we funded those events ourselves previously. So We still want to do those events, right? So, okay, so I need a motion to ask the community grants program for $800 for Easter, $1,100 for our fall event, and $1,100 for our Christmas event. Have a motion for that, please?
Ray has her finger up.
And a seconder?
Sure.
Okay, perfect.
We
So is
can-
that all you need right now, Steph, for that?
Yeah, and then I just need the budget breakdown sent to me,
Right.
preferably this week, because so that I can bring it to council
Oh,
sooner rather than later. I can send you what we put to council last year from you guys, if that helps you break it down a bit
well,
more.
because this week I'm crazy with pasta dinner. I mean,
Or even if it's early next week, that's great. Even if it's early
Okay.
next week, I'll send you what we submitted last year just to give you a template. But like I said, it wasn't anything crazy. It was just like $300 for food, $200 for decorations. Like,
right.
don't need a ton of detail, just basics.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's that. Now we have some added business, the terms of reference. Joe sent us all the terms of reference a little while back. I still have some questions about it. At one point there, it says to coordinate with the city with the collection of fees. I didn't think I was doing that anymore. Or does that just mean is that just me, telling people how much it costs or whatever? I don't know.
So what that means is that any fees coming in for rentals go through the city directly, not through.
Okay, well, I read it like I'm still responsible or partly responsible for collecting fees for the
No.
city. Okay, because that's the way I read it.
Yeah, sorry, that should not read that you're collecting.
Well, coordinate with the city for the collection of fees.
So they would come, by coordinating, it means coordinate with us to collect the fees.
Okay. And then the appointment of the board, you still have a booking secretary in there, that type of thing. And we have a chair, a vice chair, secretary, and a treasurer. The booking secretary is the responsibility of the chair at this point.
Okay,
So-
I'll amend the positions.
Okay, because I think too, it says it's.
There's missing one, right?
Yeah, you're missing the secretary.
Yeah, because it was done at the last meeting. You added.
Chair, vice chair, secretary, and treasurer.
So Joanne, can we just amend it to say in absence of, then it falls to the responsibility of the chair? Because at
Yeah,
some
but-
point, if you guys have 10 people on your committee, you might have enough.
No, we have an extra position though.
Yeah, but right now there's 3 positions in the terms of reference, but they made 4 at the last meeting instead of 3. That's what it
Right.
is.
My
I
bad.
forgot about that. I'm sorry.
Yes, and the duties too, because you've got the duties of the booking secretary. Well, you still have the booking secretary on there, yeah, and that's just sort of combining with the duties of the chair, at least this chair for now. If they want to do something else with it after I'm gone, they can. Right? And then it said like, and the co-chair's duties would be to send out the minutes and all that kind of stuff, but.
Yeah,
that was-
I'll amend it so it will.
Okay. Perfect. So I think that's. Okay, and the other thing too, Joe, that I needed to add in there, it says that the meetings, 3rd Monday, but may be changed if notice, if it falls on a holiday. I would also like to include that we can change our meeting night to accommodate a renter as well. Because we don't care if we meet on our Tuesday night. If I've got somebody interested in renting a hall on the Monday night, yeah, go for it.
Yep, that's fine. You definitely can do that at any time. It doesn't need to be in your terms of references, but
Oh,
because
okay.
you're on a Monday, your meetings are on a Monday and we have a lot of holidays on Mondays. I thought I would include the holiday Monday saying in there.
Okay,
It's not like it's a Tuesday and then there's this odd Tuesday holiday, right? Like there's always holidays on a Monday.
yeah, I know.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, as long as there's notice, you can change your date at any time.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure, because like I said, I'd rather us move till Tuesday night if I've got a chance to rent the place out on Monday night, so. Okay, I think that covers, if anybody got any else about that? Or any of that?
Oh, I think we're good.
Okay, so we can move on to the round table. So did you check, Joe, when I go before council, what date that was? I know you told me before and I forget. Like,
The 22nd, does that work for you? Of March?
Yep.
Okay, 22nd then.
Will that still be by Zoom? Are we allowed to meet at the community center now for our meetings?
No, we're still via Zoom until further notice. And the meeting will also be via Zoom.
Okay.
You'll get the Zoom link the Tuesday morning.
Okay. So I just wondered because I couldn't understand why we could have renters in there, but us as a committee can't go in there to meet. I don't get it.
You're not the only committee that's wondering why we can't meet in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're waiting for the go ahead and we have not received that yet. So that's why.
Okay. Well, restrictions are starting to lift a little bit. So hopefully, because I don't know, I just thinking, well, this is silly. I don't understand why we can't just go to the community center. But has anybody else got anything for round table? No? Okay, then. So our next meeting would be March 21st. That's the third Monday, correct?
Yeah, yes.
All right. I
We're gonna
guess-
do that.
So yes, Curtis, Bill will send you those minutes so that you can go over all that.
A long list of Curtis items.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. So, okay, guys, perfect. So we're gonna hang in for a little bit just to talk a little bit more about pasta dinner and our last little bit and perfect. Thank you.
Okay,
All right,
let me
thank
just take the
you.
recording off.
Okay,
Have a good night, guys.
thanks.
Thank you
Curtis.
very much.